stuck here. The cops won't bother me. About to go and pick up the part for this bike, and I hope to put it all together today as well. So I'm going to take the Yamaha Tenere over to Coleman Power Sports. It's kind of a really nice day out in DC, and I don't even know the temperature. It feels like maybe 70, 80. You know, I used to think this bike sounded bad, but it really sounds good. I just listened to it. Okay, hold on. I don't want to... It sounds like a V-twin, doesn't it? So this might be the only parallel twin that sounds good. And now we're about to cross over into Virginia. And now we're crossing over into Virginia. The cool thing about the DC area is that they have this express-only section of the Beltway, and normally it's very expensive, but for motorcycles it's absolutely free. Look at that! Black Lives Matter on the... That is kind of incredible. No justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter. Oh, I guess they graffitied the wall of the Beltway. If you look to the right, there's really small, nice houses. And then what people do in this area, because they have so much money, they will tear down these old houses and build these McMansions. Because this area is so expensive. You see that McMansion? And it's in an area that shouldn't be McMansions. It should be just like a regular small house. Man, the suspension on this bike is so good. Sometimes I like to ride through these areas. I love these houses. These houses are so much nicer than the new McMansion style. They just seem much more humble. It's like, oh, why don't you save your money instead of paying for such a large house? Buy a more inexpensive small house and use that money to travel the world, to eat better. I don't know, it just seems like a waste to have such a large house that most likely people are not going to be even using. If you're using it, yeah, no problem. But just to have, look at that, and these houses are beautiful. And here we go. This is Coleman Power Sports here on the right. It's good that they have motorcycle parking here. Look at this thing. It's a Yamaha. Oh yeah, I like this one a lot. It's the X something 900. And I got my part here. Pulled over. What's going on? Oh. Something is happening here. I wonder what's happening. And here we go. This is the part I've been waiting for. It's the cap for the scooter. The first thing I'm going to start doing is putting the thermostat. Remember, I removed it because I was trying to get all of this going. At this point, we can start by putting it in the bracket. Actually, before that, I want to put the radiator hoses. The things that I suspect could be wrong with the bike is the sensor here, and this is the sensor, and it comes from the bike, and there's a switch here and this that reads the temperature, and you can just clip it on here. There's a ground wire. It's pushed down well. This little piece is like $100 something. So this is the electrical bit. But before I do that, I'm going to loosen this hose. Considering just getting like a Honda part, because they make similar ones, but they don't have the mounting bracket. You see the way this kind of hangs? It puts stress on it. So, and here we go. So that's actually in there fairly well. I actually felt it going in. So all we have to do now is really just tighten this. 10 millimeter, you tighten it up. And now I'm just going to tighten this. And now we're going to put our electrical connector on here for the thing. And now I'm going to connect the battery. So this auto light spark plug is the one that came with the Kymco. But I checked the online manual, and the one that should be in there is a CR7E, and just so happens I have one. So it's from an old bike, but it is in pretty good shape. So I'm going to put this in, and we are going to fire it up and see if it runs. I'm going to fill it back up. So I just realized I made a big mistake when I mounted the tire. Not that big, but there's a spacer on the inside and it needs to be in one specific direction. I had it in the wrong way. So now it rotates and it's got the brake caliper in there, and I also have this bolt. Before it was actually sliding in the axle, so you have to make sure that there's some resistance to it. And I think, and the next thing is just to start it. I hear the fuel pump, no leaks, that's good, coolant's not leaking, and now let's see if we can start it. And you can see it just spins so much better. It's still overheating. I think it might be a sensor issue, but I can't be exactly sure. I absolutely am starting to hate the Maxi scooter thing. It is just so much plastic, so much intricate plastic, that it makes life so much harder than it has to be. Go down to here. Make sure none of these wires are getting pinched. Alright, I got the pan on. And, you know, the best thing at least is that the bike now starts. I'm still having the same issues of it completely overheating, but at least we got it to run. I'm not sure why I'm having that weird idle problem, but that's something that I'm going to try and figure out before I take it for a spin. I was hoping to take it for a spin today, but this is how far I've gotten. I'm looking forward to actually bolting everything up and taking it for a quick spin. A lot of times these issues kind of resolve themselves when you ride. Sometimes they don't. But I think that temperature gauge is off. You know, I have this suspicion. I don't know if it's the head gasket. There's no oil in the, or there's no coolant in the oil. Everything seems to be in pretty decent shape. The valves are well adjusted. I got a new spark plug in there. This bike should be ready, but time will tell.
Pull over! Huh? Pull over! No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.